You have the lawn that's also filling up, and right now I'm actually joined by Minister of Water Affairs and ANC NEC member Nomvula Mokonyane. Nomvula, thank you so much for joining us, and first of all, Happy Women's Day.
Happy Women's Day. The struggle continues.
What is that struggle?
The struggle is about the economic emancipation of women. It's about the skills development for young women. It is about fighting all other forms of discrimination, including gender-based violence. It's about making the world and all institutions in South Africa to embrace the policy of gender parity that only the ANC has been able to push, but this South African government has adopted that policy.
Tell you what, during the ANC's campaign, AU Commissioner Chairperson Menko Sazana had a debate with young women in Joburg region, and the issue was raised around where young women in the ANC feel like they'll have to sleep with their leaders to be lifted up in positions of power or to even succeed within the organization. How do you think the organization can deal with that?
We need to give young women a platform. We need to also keep ourselves closer to them, make them our friends, listen to their language, listen to their voice, and where there is evidence, the ANC will have to act. It must act.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the display from the National Ceremonial Guard Band will now commence.
Well, a very good morning. If you've just joined us, we are coming live to you from the Union Buildings, and there you have visuals of the ceremonial guard of honor while President Jacob Zuma observes this moment. This is quite a special and a momentous event for the country, considering that it marks 60 years since women marched through the streets of Pretoria to the Union Buildings.
Well, of course, if you have just joined us, a warm welcome to you. We are broadcasting live from the lawns of the Union Buildings. Of course, we are marking the 60th anniversary of the 1956 Women's March to the Union Buildings. Of course, President Jacob Zuma, who will be delivering the keynote address here at this Women's Day event, has already arrived. We saw the ceremonial brass band, of course, welcoming him, and of course the 21 gun salute also officially opening this event here at the Union Buildings. Of course, in no time the official event will start with the program directors, Minister of Arts and Culture Natim Tetwa, and of course the Minister in the Presidency for Women and Children, that is Susan Shabangu, who will be taking to the podium to open the official of course, program here at the Union Buildings. And there you can hear the echoes of the brass band, of course, entertaining the crowd here. The lawns of the Union Buildings are packed with women from all races, all cultural groups, all ages, as of course they are here to mark this milestone in the history of South Africa. Do stay with us as we bring you this live coverage.
Well, yes, we're still continuing with coverage of this National Day, quite a momentous day as well. And just referring back to what happened earlier on this morning, where these statues were unveiled of the 4 leaders of that 1956 march, Lillian Ngoyi, Rahina Musa, Helen Joseph, as well as Sophie de Bruyn. Those statues were unveiled at the Lillian Ngoyi Center in Pretoria. It was actually first known as the Semi-Mark Square. The name of that square has now been named after Lillian Ngoyi because of the work that she's been doing in terms of contributing to women's emancipation and the realization of women's rights. And that's exactly what's happening today as well, is that commemoration of that special day back in 1956. We are continuing with our coverage of this special day right here from the Union Buildings. And of course, we will be bringing you interviews as well from different guests who have made their way through to the Union Buildings. Earlier on, I spotted the Minister, Faith Mutambi, who's a member of the ANC's PEC. I also spotted the chairperson of the Gender Commission. And an interesting discussion that I actually had with her last year was, if you look at Parliament, what's happening at the moment after Helen Zille resigned as the leader of the DA in Parliament, that meant that Parliament only has one party that is led by a female, and that is the National Freedom Party, the National Freedom Party, which is led by a female, and all other political parties, all 8 of them, are led by males, and that's a problem that she had. And she also raised the issue that she wished that political parties will be able to fix that when they go to the list conferences and so forth. Is about to
SABC wethu umama uFaith Mazibuko uvavavum halala halala uPremier wethu wase Northern Cape umama Sylvia halala halala uPremier wethu uSupra Mahumapili wako wale Eastern Cape halala halala ikwaya yethu halala halala ama veteran ethu halala halala bomama base South Africa halala wathi abafazi during this important month of ours, celebrating the 60th anniversary of our country, our President Jacob Zuma, our Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa, our ministers, deputy ministers, members of the diplomatic corps with us today, our councillors who are with us, all protocol observed. May I take this opportunity to welcome all of you, but also ask all of us to stand up for the national anthem, but also for the African Union anthem. Can I request our men Sizocula kabili, sizocala nge-AU anthem, siyenze i-African national anthem yethu, sisukume, sihloniphe sonke ngoba silanje nje yingenxa yokuba simbubele kukho konke esinakho la eNingizimu Afrika. Ngiyacela-ke bomama bobaba basisukumeni, sizawukhokhelwa yikhwaya yethu laphaya ku-AU anthem. Uma nibheka bane-program ikhona ibhaliwe, ngizocela ukuthi sizame ukuyilandelela siyicule ngoba ibaluleke kakhulu ezimpilweni zethu as African people, because it's what brings us together. It's what makes us to be part of Africa. Over to you, choir.
Together to uphold the bonds that frame our destiny. Let us dedicate ourselves to fight together for lasting peace and justice on earth. Oh, sons and daughters of Africa, flesh of the sun and flesh of the sky, let us make Africa the sea of life. Let us all unite and toil together to give the best we have to Africa. The grandeur of mankind and fond of culture, pride and hope and break of dawn. Oh, sons and daughters of Africa, flesh of the sun and flesh of the sky. Let us make Africa the sea of life. Nkosi sikeleni Afrika, maluphanganiso panolwayo, izwa imithandazo yethu. Nkosi sikelela athina, lusapho lwayo, murena buluka sitshaba sa Yesu, ufeniseni ntwale mathwene. Usibuluke sitshaba sa Yesu, sitshaba sa South Africa, South Africa. Bloed van ons heer, mere die diepte van ons heer. Ons heer, van die kranse aan ons heer.
much. Thanks to the choir. We are going to ask our acting premier, Umama Unandi Mayatula Koza, to come and welcome us la eGauteng, la Epito, eTshwane. Very important, our capital city. Over to you, Mam Nandi.
Thank you, Siyabule. Enkosi kakhulu ndiyabulela kwi-program directors zethu. Malibongwe. Igama lamakhosikazi. Wathinta abafazi. Basopa. Ndiyabulela kakhulu kwi-program directors zethu, ministers zethu, Mama uSusan Shabangu. Ndibulele kakhulu naku-minister yethu of Arts, Culture and Recreation, utata wethu osiphethe namhlanje, uminister Nathi Mthethwa. Siyabulela naku-minister zonke ezikhoyo phakathi kwethu, isikakhulu masibulele, sibulise to His Excellency the President of the Republic of South Africa, Honorable President Zuma. Masibulise kutata Deputy President wetu utata Cyril Ramaphosa. Sibulise kuzo zonke i-ministers ne-deputy ministers ezikhoyo. Masibulise kuzo zonke i-premiers ezikhoyo from all over South Africa. Sibulele kakhulu kuba khona kwazo. Sibulise naku-MEC Mazibuko nezinye i-MECs from all over South Africa, all the provinces ezikhoyo phakathi kwethu. Masibulise umama wethu uchairperson we-AU Commission, umama uNkosazana Dlamini Zuma. Sibulise kuzo zonke i-stalwarts ezikhoyo phakathi kwethu, stalwarts of our struggle for women emancipation in our country. Isikakhulu phakathi kwethu khona umama uSophie Williams de Bruyn. Nabanye abaningi abakhona phakathi kwethu. Masibulise kumama wethu President we-African National Congress Women's League, umama uBathabile Dlamini, nezinye inkokheli zenhlangano zomama ezikhoyo phakathi kwethu and political parties. Let me also welcome and greet the members of the diplomatic corps, other women stalwarts in music and arts. Besibonile ekseni umama uAbigail Kubheka, umama uDorothy Masuka, and many other artists ezikhoyo in South Africa. Leaders of business, leaders of civil society, organizations. Kuni nonke bomama siyabulisa sithi simolweni. Timele utata undunankulu walapha eGauteng. Uthanda inibulise wathi manixolise kakhulu. Up to yesterday ebezawuza apha. Kodwa ke uye wagula kakhulu wanyanzeleka into bana makayobona ugqirha, so siyamxolisela. So ndizazama ufunda ke i-message of welcome yakhe nibemfutshane. We are gathered here today to remember those brave women who on this day 60 years ago marched to the Union buildings against past laws and the general oppression of women. Those were fearless women determined to fight for freedom and equality for all. On this day, we honor them. This day is also an opportunity to remember the many heroic struggles waged by women, not only to bring about freedom and democracy in our country, but also to ensure that the fruits of our liberation are enjoyed by all. We are paying tribute today to women of caliber, women like Charlotte Maxeke, Lillian Ngoyi, Dorothy Nyembe, Fatima Mier, Helen Joseph, Rahima Musa, Sonia Banting, Adelaide Tambo, Albertina Sisulu, Mamurut Mumpati, Betha Klowa, and Sophie de Bruyn, who's still here with us. We are blessed as South Africa that we still have one of those four women who led the march in 1956. But we also appreciate the presence of other women who are here today and were part of that march. We are also paying tribute to women in academia, in business, in sport, in the religious fraternity, in government and all levels of our society, who continue to put their collective shoulder to wheel in an ongoing effort to build a country we can be proud to call home. We also honor the countless ordinary women whose names will never be written in the history books or chiseled on monuments, but who continue to make a difference in their communities. These are our unsung heroes. We also honor them today. To all those women of our country, we say, Malibongwe. Ladies and gentlemen, Program Director, on this important occasion, let us reiterate that women emancipation remains a critical task that we in South Africa are tackling with consistency and urgency, working together with our women and men. Nothing is more troubling than the atrocious acts of gender-based violence perpetrated against millions of women and girl children in our country. Nothing keeps us awake at night than the continued exclusion of women from participating in the mainstream of our economy. However, looking back on the work we have done over the past 2 years, we are humbled as South Africa of our progress in advancing gender equality and women emancipation and women empowerment in our country. But a lot more still needs to be done. We will be presenting scrolls on the achievements of provinces to His Excellency the President sometime during the course of the day, on the progress that we have made on radical socio-economic transformation of our women in our country. And therefore, I will not waste time to indicate what it is that we are busy doing in our provinces. I would like to move towards conclusion by indicating that we are also continuing to honor our women stalwarts of our liberation struggle. This we are doing to immortalize their contribution to the development of our society and to tell their stories of bravery and sacrifice. This includes the work we have done to declare the grave of Mampeta Qowa as a provincial heritage site, as well as the unveiling of her statue in Egurule. Working together with the cities and as well as the ANC Women's League, we have preserved the former house of Mayor Charlotte Maxeke in Kliptown as a heritage site. The Women's Living Heritage Monument was unveiled earlier today by President Zuma, also forms part of the work we are doing to honor the role of women in our struggle for liberation. We invite all women today and those who are not here to take time to visit this monument. We salute our former Premier, Mama Action, for initiating the project, as well as our current Premier for ensuring that it is realized and launched in our lifetime. Program Director, it is these and many such interventions we are continuing to make that convince us that gradually, step by step, we are succeeding in building a better South Africa for our women and men. It is therefore our pleasure to welcome all of you to the Gauteng City region. City Malibongwe. Siyabulela.
Malibongwe. Malibongwe. Siyabonga MEC Mayatula Khoza and welcoming us Siyabulela. Now we are going to have our woman leader of 1956. But also today, we don't have Mom Sophie alone, who is enjoying and celebrating with us. We have other women, very few of them, who were part of 1956. We saw them in the morning. Mom Sophie represents those women who decided, despite whatever, they're going to march in making sure that their voice is heard. But not only that, they were united as women of South Africa and their contribution to the democracy we have. Let's all welcome Umam Sophie. Wathinta abafazi. Wathinta abafazi. Malibongwe. Malibongwe. Simhloniphe uMam Sophie ngoba le ndima ayihambile yinde. Simamele bomama, singabi silokhu ikhushu and singalaleli. Let's give respect to Mam Sophie because we are very fortunate to have one of those leaders of 1956. Over to you, Mam Sophie.
Thank you. Watinti bafazi. Malibongwe. Happy Women's Day. His Excellency President Jacob Zuma, His Excellency Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa, all ministers present here, all protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen, Amandla. I am blessed today and my spirit is revived. When I see this huge crowd here today, you displayed a discipline and a dignity that is deeply impressive, that was also displayed in 1956. The launch of the Women's Living Heritage Monument today touched me. My heart was overwhelmed. And when I saw the statues of the women stalwarts, I think they are smiling wherever they are. And I'm proud to be a South African. But the march was noteworthy in more than one way because it sent a strong message about the importance of building a non-racial future. And it was so symbolic this morning because it captured in the statues of the 4 women of different races who led the march. The march of this union building in 1956 by 20,000 women was not only the extension of the carrying of passes to African women, but also about the challenges and the oppressive system that sought to deepen the inequalities in terms of race and gender, which resulted in the current triple challenges of poverty, of unemployment, and inequality that burdens women the most, and which our government is still grappling with. And it is for the youth to take the baton that we have already handed over to them and to fight the ills and the injustices in our country right now, which are the increase in abuse, which are the increase of the abuse of women, of violence against women and children, and the wage gap, and the inequality, the poverty, and the increasing gap between the rich and the poor. And it should not take us so many years to transform and true liberation in our country for the future that we want. But I need to say a big thank you and to pass our gratitude, because as I stand here, I represent our icons that have already left us. And I also represent our stalwarts that are with us today, the women that have marched with us, which are very few. So I want to pass my gratitude on behalf of all of us to our previous Premier, what is her name again? Nomvula, why am I forgetting your name? I want to say thank you to Nomvula because I remember the days that she spoke to me. It was your passion. It was your heart's desire when you had this dream of setting up and erecting that women's monument. And today it has become a reality. And so I thank you. I couldn't believe what I saw this morning. Thank you out of the bottom of our hearts, Nomvula Nokonyana, Minister of Water and Sanitation. Amandla.
Thank you very much, Mam Sophie. Malibongwe! Malibongwe! Thank you very much, Mam Sophie. 5 days ago, we voted in this country of ours, advancing our democracy. As women, once more, Mam Sophie, more women came out to vote. Like it happened in 1956, women stood together. Once more, women stood together. More women voted 5 days ago. Amandla! Malibongwe, Kamala Makosigas, Malibongwe! In 1954, the Federation of South African Women came together and drafted and adopted the Women's Charter. One of the clauses or the request and the demand was the right to vote. And those women said, we are demanding one person, one vote. Bomme Sophie, today, we are enjoying that. So then let's not undermine the right to vote in recognition our women of 1954. Malibongwe! Today we're also celebrating achievements by women of South Africa, but the leadership we have in South Africa and the contribution of South Africa in various areas. We have the first chairperson who is a woman in the African Union, who is a South African, our sister, our citizen, very important, our one and only Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma. Over to you, our sister.